Welcome back to the Aubergine Chef. Now today we'll be making one of my favorite carnival-style desserts, funnel cake. And I've been dying to get my hands on a funnel cake recipe for a long time. It's just like, when I get home, it's kind of one of the last things I think about. But like when you're at a carnival or an amusement park, it's like, ooh, I really should try and find a recipe for funnel cake. It can't be that difficult to make. Well, it turns out it's actually really easy to make. It's basically just pancake batter fried. And so it's really easy to customize flavor-wise before or after it's cooked. And it's very easy to make using very few ingredients, so it's very inexpensive to make. I'm going to make the funnel cake as traditional as possible because I'm really craving just a regular powdered sugar funnel cake. But other funnel cakes can come with like strawberry topping, fruit toppings, honey drizzled on top, sometimes like sesame seeds on top. It's up to you how you want to do it. But I'm going to show you the basic way to make funnel cake. So why don't we go ahead and get started. Okay, so while you're weighing out your ingredients and getting it ready, you want to have a large shallow pot on the stove with vegetable oil warming up to 375 degrees. That's for the frying part. So while that's heating up, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and weigh out our ingredients, which I've already done ahead of time so you guys wouldn't have to wait. I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour, or 5 5/8 ounces, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, or about 5 grams, and about a quarter teaspoon of salt, which comes out about 2 or 3 grams of salt. So just sift that into your bowl, and I'm going to use more like a pitcher, I should say, a pitcher with a spout on it, so that way I can pour my batter out later. You don't have to use a pitcher. If you have a bowl, you can also use a turkey baster to get that like zigzag pattern. But I just like pouring it in. I find like using a turkey baster, it takes a while to get all of the batter I need out. But anyway, do whichever way you want. In this bowl, I have 1 cup or 8 ounces of milk, 1 whole egg, and 2 tablespoons or 1 ounce of granulated sugar. And I whisked it all together until it was all mixed together. And what you need to do next is you need to combine these two, the wet with the dry ingredients. But I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to wait until my oil is ready, and then we'll whisk it all together. And then when you do that, you want to whisk all of the ingredients together so well that it's nice and smooth. You don't want a lumpy batter. Okay, so our oil is almost at the temperature, it's almost at 375. And so we're going to go ahead and combine our liquid and our dry ingredients for our funnel cake batter. And I'm actually going to go ahead and add in just a touch of vanilla extract. Just because, I always add vanilla extract to my pancakes, too. I think it gives it a little bit more flavor. Let's go ahead and beat this until all the lumps are out. You can do this in a blender, on a mixer, or by hand. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pour 1/4 of the batter into the hot oil. Might be a little bit closer to 1/2. And we're going to let this fry for about a minute, and then we're going to flip it over and fry it for another minute. It looks like it's a pretty quick process. Remember, this is my first time making funnel cakes myself. It's a pretty easy recipe. When you take it off of the frying oil, that might be a good time to sprinkle on a cinnamon sugar combination for a nice, almost like donut-like funnel cake. Go ahead and let it fry for a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to put it on a sheet pan and stick that in the oven so that way it warms up, or stays warm. And my sheet pan has paper towel on it so it drains some of the oil. As for the remaining pieces, so they don't burn and stink up your kitchen, you want to go ahead and use a sifter or a sieve to fish all of them out. Alright, so to finish off our funnel cake, you can pour honey or cinnamon sugar or whatever you want. I like to just go the traditional route and just put on a little bit of powdered sugar, and by a little bit I mean a lot. And that's pretty much it. Okay, and that's how you make funnel cake. Now it's a pretty simple recipe. All you have to do is basically make pancake batter and then fry it up on the stove, and you're pretty much done. So it's a really easy recipe to do whenever you want. It's pretty low cost because almost all of the ingredients, pretty much the ingredients you have at home at all times: flour, sugar, eggs, vanilla extract, baking powder, and then you're good to go. So don't be hesitant to try it out. It's actually a lot easier than you think it is, and don't forget to try different kinds of toppings. Don't just stick with powdered sugar. Eventually, I'd love to try try it with honey, with strawberry topping. Just go all out. And if you're a professional, you could probably use this as a different kind of crunch component, something unique to your bakery or your dessert cafe or however your restaurant. And I remembered as I was doing it that we actually did something called wagon wheels at the resort I worked at, and they had like this specialty tool made where you dip it in the funnel cake batter and then you fry it, and it pops off the mold. It like expands a little bit, and then I don't want to say it contracts, but eventually it cooks into the shape of a wagon wheel. So it's really cool. I tried doing that with some cookie cutters, but it didn't really cut it. It just stuck to the cookie cutter. So it must be a special kind of metal, or the dough might be different. Now I know that when I was Googling and researching funnel cake, I did come across an Alton Brown recipe who uses pâte choux to make it. And pâte choux is the same kind of dough that you use to make eclairs, and cream puffs, profiteroles, those kind of desserts. So it might be interesting to try those out and see how they work. They might actually work a little bit better, may work differently, may taste differently. But this funnel cake tastes exactly like, in my opinion anyway, it tastes exactly like the carnival style and the amusement park style funnel cake. So I hope you give it a try. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. And remember, the Aubergine Chef, demystifying dessert one recipe at a time.